Hi, my name is Allie, for those of you who don't know me, and I am the maker behind Crochet in the Mud. I make both crochet plushies as well as pottery. And I know I'm a little bit late to the game, but I figured I would do a 2024 recap with you, where I'll go over what my 10 best-selling stickers were that I designed, my 10 best-selling crochet patterns, and then some financial stuff about how much I spent on markets and how much profit my business brought in. So to start with my 10 best-selling plushies, I made a list over here, so ignore me if I'm looking over to the corner. I'm just looking at my list. In 10th place, I have my cat pattern. I sold 48 of them over the year. I do not have the loaf cat pattern, which most people have. I had already bought a multi-pack which had lots of no-sew animals, and cats was one of those. So I decided to just keep going with what I have, and people do seem to like them. Clearly it made my top 10 for the year, so on to the next one. Now I do realize that my top 10 is a little biased based off of what I had available. What I made is what could sell. So it is a little biased here, but if I saw a plushie was selling well or I was selling out of market, I would make more. So it's a little biased, but not at the same time. In 9th place, it's the tried and true bee. I made a little change this year. I found a way to make the wings no-sew. It is a double bobble stitch, which definitely helped me out because I hate sewing those wings on. So finding that helped me out, and I sold 57 of those for the year. Towards the end of the year, I did start to notice that when I had them out, they weren't selling as well, so I don't think I'm going to be bringing them back for 2025. In 8th place, I have my chicken pattern, which I sold 60 of. I did, midway through the year, start making Oak and Marlowe's maple chicken. That one actually ended up being in 12th place, but it did not make our top 10 list today. I really enjoy this chicken pattern. I think it's really cute. I personally like it better than the maple chicken, just the end product. But the fact that halfway through the year I introduced the maple chicken and it almost caught up to the regular chicken, I don't know which one's better. I will be keeping both of those in 2025. In 7th place, I have the Mushy Boy. I sold 70 of those for the year. A lot of them were at the consignment store I sell at. For some reason, anything mushroom themed sells really well there. So I did sell 70 of those through the year. In 6th place, I have my Mallard Duck plushie, which is the same pattern as the chicken. You just don't add the red comb for the chicken on there. And I sold 81 Mallard Ducks. In 5th place, I have my Pocket Frog pattern from All From Jade. I ended up selling 87 of those through the year. And like I mentioned with the bee earlier, it seemed like partway through the year, they started not selling as much. I think I might pivot to the mini leggy frog pattern that I have seen. I've made a couple. I think they're cute. We'll have to see how they do at markets. A lot of people, they do really well for them at markets, but based on where you live, it's going to be a different story. I've seen a lot of people, like their big turtles do well, but I don't do too well with big turtles. So it could be where I live, could be the pattern I'm using, not sure. But I might be cutting that frog out and changing that for another frog. In 4th place, I have my no-sew turtle, and we sold 110 of those for the year. So I normally make those in 3 different colors is what I tend to do. I have a pink, and then I have a full green, and then I have a beige and a green. I'll put pictures of all 3 types up here. And then it was either June or July, they released shell mods for those. So that was a fun challenge. If you check out my Instagram, you can see I didn't do all of them, but I did quite a few. And I definitely will keep doing the pizza turtle ones. And they had a couple others that I really liked. But the pizza turtle, I make the most of those modifications. So the 110 include the 3 regular colors I told you and the pizza turtle. Now we are up to the top 3 selling plushies of 2024. And in 3rd place, we have the possum from Crochet by Jenna. I sold 134 of those. They're definitely popular anywhere I go with them. And they're a nice make. They're really easy to work up. I enjoy plushies that I can make them without stuffing them while I'm out and about, and then I can come back and stuff them later. And this one's definitely one of those I can do that with. And then, surprise to no one, 2nd place is axolotls. I sold 162. That is quite a lot of them, And I actually broke this one down by color. This one is definitely biased based on which colors I made, but it's also when I saw a color was selling well, I would make more of those. So the top 3 colors I have, which are also the 3 I mostly make if I have them in stock, I sold 26 Baby Lilac, 33 Bubbly Blue, and then the best-selling, I sold 87 Light Pink Axolotls. So that 87 makes up about half of the axolotls I sold last year. And then in first place, surprise to nobody, especially not me, is my pocket octopus. These are really easy for me to whip up. I can make them without even paying attention, so I'll make them all the time in lots of different colors. The best 2 colors are Mini Succulents and Stormy Ocean by Brene Blanket. And in total, we sold 234 pocket octopus last year. I believe part of why these are so popular is they are my cheapest item. I sell my pocket octopus for $12, and that is the cheapest plushie you can find from me. It also could be contributing to the fact that I just have them available in multiple colors. If I have a color that I only have a little bit left of, I'll just whip up a bunch of octopus because they don't take up too much yarn. And they're definitely the item that I make the most of. So they are the best seller of 2024 with 234 sold. Now on to the stickers. So all of these stickers I drew and designed myself, and then I have somebody else print them out for me because I don't want to deal with the Cricut. I've seen too many horror stories and I already don't have time as is to make enough inventory, so I just outsource my stickers, but I did draw them all myself. These are all going to be Pride stickers. I do have 2 non-Pride stickers. One of them is a snowman sticker that I only have out for the winter, so it's not out all year long, so it didn't make the list because it didn't have enough selling time. And then I currently have a jackalope sticker that I designed for a jackalope festival, but I've only sold a couple, so it also didn't make the 10 list, but all of my other stickers at the moment are Pride related stickers. In 10th place, I sold 34 of my transgender frog stickers. I have this frog in 16 different flags currently, and I do also have the option to, if you need me to make a flag that I don't have available, I do have the custom option on there. Just shoot me an email with what flag you need. So in 10th place, we have the transgender frog. In 9th place, or 8th place, we have a tie actually with 35 sold, so only beating out the trans frog by 1. I have my ally fence sticker as well as my pansexual frog sticker. In 7th place with 36 sold, I have my non-binary frog. In 6th place with 41 sold, I have my lesbian frog sticker. In 5th place with 45 sold, I have my non-binosaur sticker. In 4th place, I have my blue triceratops sticker with 46 sold. Now for the top 3, these sell at just about any market, so again, not surprised. In 3rd place, I have my Progress Frog sticker with 50 sold for the year. In 2nd place, I have my bisexual frog sticker with 52 sold for the year. And then in 1st place, with my best-selling sticker, is my biceratops sticker with 79 sold. Unfortunately, I don't know what my top best-selling pottery items were. Because I keep track of those as individual, every listing is different because I don't make, my pottery is one of a kind, with the exceptions of like the spoon rests or the herb strippers where I will make those in the same glaze color over and over again. So unfortunately I don't know what my best-selling pottery items were, but I would definitely say herb strippers is up there, and hopefully this year I can keep track of how many of each category of pottery sells so that for 2025 I can know exactly which ones are the best sellers. And then for a little bit of fun, I figured I would do a 2024 Wrapped for you. So I sell both online at craft fairs as well as in a couple of stores. So for 2024, I attended 23 shows. Some of them were one day, some of them were multiple days. So I do have it separated a little bit, whether it was a 1-day or a 2-day market. And then if you watched my last couple of videos, you did see that I did a 6-day market. I did not include that in my, or I included the sales and the fact that I did the show in the data, but not my most expensive show or the most sales I made at a show, because I thought that'd be unfair because that one was a 6-day, and comparing a 6-day market to a 1-day or a 2-day market is just not equivalent. Number of stores I was in for 2024, I started the year in 4 stores and I ended the year in 1, which one of my goals for 2024 was to expand and enter more stores in the state, and I ended up doing the opposite and going down to 1. This was because most of the stores I was in, I wasn't profiting, or if I was profiting, it just wasn't enough for it to be something that I should continue putting my effort towards. So I did leave all of these stores except 1. I love this store and I will never leave this store unless something terrible happens. They are fantastic. I love all the people I work with there, and also monetarily I find it to be worth it to stay there, and I love this store. For the year, between online, in stores, and at markets, I sold 2,457 items. That includes my crochet patterns, my stickers, my pottery, my plushies. That's a lot of items. It's definitely interesting to see the number of items I sold for the year. That is huge. So definitely I would encourage you, if you can look up the number of items you sold for the year, I would definitely encourage it, because that is really fantastic to see that I sold almost 2,500 items for the year. Moving on to the financial, which I'm sure you're waiting for. For my one-day shows, the highest sales I made at a show was $1,277. And this was actually also my cheapest show. So it also goes to show that because you paid more for a market doesn't mean you're going to make more at a market. My lowest sales at a one-day show was $170.50. And this one was rough because I believe I paid like $120 to be there. So I only left with about $40 more than I made, which did not cover materials, so that was a net loss market for me. So that was a hard one. My most expensive booth fee that I paid for a one-day market was $179, which is about average for the markets I do here. Most of my markets are going to be about $130 to $180. That's just how much markets cost in Colorado. And then my least expensive show was $80. And that's the one that I made the most sales at for my one-day shows. Now for my two-day shows, I did a couple of them. I want to say I did like 5 or 6 of them through the year. And most of them did about the same sales-wise, except the highest sales day. So the highest sales that I made for a two-day market was $3,193. And the lowest sales I made was $1,006. Most of the two-day markets for 2024 were about $1,000 or $1,100. My most expensive show I did, which also was the highest sales day, I paid $393.75 for that market, and my least expensive two-day show was $212. All in all, for my craft fairs for 2024, I made $19,057.46 in sales. This does not include how much I paid for booth fees, materials, labor, any of that. But that averages out to about $828.58 per market. So not too bad of a takeaway from the markets. And the number that makes me sad is how much I paid for booth fees in 2024 was $4,494.33. That is a big chunk of the $19,000 I did, so about 20% of my craft fair sales went towards paying for the booth fees. So not a great percentage, but markets are expensive here, and most of my markets this year I did lower than 2023, so something was just up with the economy, or people say it's because it was an election year. But hopefully for 2025, that percentage I paid for booth fees out of the amount of sales I made goes down, because 20% is quite a hefty amount. For 2025, I am hoping to do more big shows, more 2-day, 3-day markets, so I can do less one-days, because the setup and teardown is just a lot, and I would rather do a big market so I can pour all of my effort into one weekend rather than doing 3 weekends every month. So I can focus more on making product and then only having 1 weekend of sales. That's my goal. But as I said earlier, my 2024 plan did not go according to how I had hoped. So we'll see how 2025 goes out. I already have a couple of booth fees paid and markets applied to. So now it's just a matter of seeing where exactly I go with. I'm also getting married this year, so that does limit the weekends I have available. So hopefully we can beat 2024 in terms of sales and do a lot of bigger markets so we can do less of these one-day shows. Thank you so much for watching my 2024 wrapped video. If you have any questions, please leave them down below in the comments. Let me know if you enjoyed this video by giving it a like for me. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye!